Hey everyone. All right, so I just got done doing an awesome mini training for the Special Education Inner Circle with Shelly, who is a master IEP coach who's going to be teaching all things about data collection, when you need to collect data, how you can collect data, why this has to be a long game, not a short game when it comes to data, how you really use data to build an appropriate education, so many things all about data. I love that Shelly is a master IEP coach who can dig into that and really help parents and teachers get on the same page. One thing, I'm going to share with you one thing that we talked about, and then don't worry, I'm going to share with you how to get full access to everything. It's not quite ready to be posted yet because I have to get you the link to get all of her free downloads and replays and all of the things with that. But I want to share with you one thing that we chatted about, and that's about how teacher observations should not be used for IEP goal progress. Because here's what happens. I was a teacher. Shelly was a teacher. We know what it's like to go to that kind of default answer of how you're going to collect data by a teacher observation. But it does something really negative for the whole situation. Here's what happens. As a teacher, if you're making observations about something, you're putting the pressure on yourself to remember what is happening. You're not obligated to write it down. You're not obligated to check the boxes. You're not obligated to share it in a concrete way. So it puts the pressure on you as a teacher to remember everything right. You don't want to do that. Hey, Anna, I see you here. Thank you for being here today. Okay. The second thing is it's all going to be fueled by emotions if there is any conflict when it comes to the data, which is based on a teacher's observation. Now, we've all felt this before as a human being, right? Like, you know, you saw something, you know it. You know you saw something happen and somebody says, no, it didn't. And you're like, I saw it with my own eyes. I saw this happen. I'm like, not really sure. Are you sure? Are you sure that you're sure? And then this conversation goes back and forth. And the next thing you know, as the observer, you're questioning yourself. Did I really see it? Was it happening that often? Maybe it wasn't quite exactly the way that I remember it. Okay. Our memories are a crazy thing. And we don't always remember things right. Even if we do a log of observations where we're kind of journaling things down, if we're not using a concrete method that's really objective in data, we can't have a strong conversation on if a child's education is working or not working. And let's just put it out there. No matter your role on the IEP team, you want the IEP to be working. If you're a teacher, you want to know your students are making progress. If you're a parent, you know you want your child to be making progress. So why are we relying on this kind of mushy version of data that is not solid in a conversation about what is happening in a child's education? So Shelly was really great. I can't wait till you guys see the video that I'm going to be posting up. But she gave concrete examples of what does data actually look like, and how it doesn't have to be complicated, and how you can use data that's been taken over years and be able to compare like apples to apples and make sure that a child really is making progress in that. So if you are a parent or a teacher and you are struggling with data, will you make sure that you go ahead and pop your comment below this video, wherever you're watching it, pop the comment there below and make sure I'm going to get you the link to watch that training. And there's no fee for it. There's nothing, okay, for that. This is information that you need to have. I will tell you though, I will 100% tell you that I already told you, Shelly is a master IEP coach. So if this is something that you want to learn how to do, not just to help yourself, but you want to help others, then that's becoming a master IEP coach. So I will tell you that enrollment is open for master IEP coach. If you just want the data information, put that comment below. If you need more than that, if you're like, I'm all in, I need to know all the things about data. I need to know how to change child's education. I want to make a difference in special education outcomes. That's becoming a master IEP coach. So I encourage you to go over to masteriepcoach.com. You just drop your email over there and I'll send you more information about that. You can find out if it's right for you. Our next mentorship starts June 22nd. That's coming up really fast. It is obviously going to be our only mentorship before the start of the school year. And we all know we're feeling like a hot mess when it comes to back to school, right? We don't know how we're going back to school. We don't know what resources are going to be available. We don't really have the data that we need from the spring or the summer to move into the fall and make decisions. There's going to be so much happening. But in the Master IEP Coach Mentorship, we are going to be tackling all of the things that you need to be prepared for as we move into this next school year. And one of those key pieces will be data. Sue, I see that you said interested in data. Hello to you there. So I will make sure that when I get that link ready for the full data conversation with Shelly, that you get, I'll come right back down here into the comments. Anna, I see that you're interested also. Absolutely. I'm going to be getting you that link. With that, in the meantime, what you can do, here's your action step. Go get the IEP for the child that you're thinking of. Maybe it's your child, maybe you're a teacher and you're watching and there's somebody that you're just like, I need to really check and see if they're making the expected progress. Go into the goals. Every goal sheet has what the goal is, what the expectations are in different time periods, right? So by first semester or second semester, or they have how things are going to get accomplished. So basically there's the goal, right? There's also how data will be collected for that goal. It's right on the goal sheet. If you see teacher observation, don't freak out and like call an IEP meeting. I'm not telling you to do that right now. I'm telling you to make a note. Put a little sticky note on that goal where it says teacher observation, and put it on your to-do list that when the time comes for you to start talking about that goal, you're going to work on that goal in the fall. You really need to track what's happening, that you come to a better solution than teacher observation for the only method of data collection. Okay? You can do that without an IEP meeting. I teach you guys how to do all of that in the Master IEP Coach Mentorship, because here's the thing. I actually don't want you sitting in like 6 IEP meetings every year as a parent, or teachers going to more IEP meetings than spending time in your classroom. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to teach you how to do things without an IEP meeting, like get better data collection and make it less stressful and see more results in there. Connie, I see that you're interested in the data information. So I'll absolutely make sure, again, that you get that link. I'm just working with Shelly to make sure that she's got all the freebies ready for you guys with the examples of the data collection sheets. On that note, let's see. Tanya says, what if all you have is teacher observation with no data or notes or nothing to back it up for a whole year? Wow. You have no notes. Do you have even a log of their observations? Like, do you even know what they observed? And my first question is, have you gone back through the IEP and looked at what data should have been collected? So that's where I always want to start. So are there things that I could tell you to do right now of like, okay, well, you need to go write an advocacy letter and make sure that you list out the top 3 IEP goals that you're concerned about, and make sure that you have data collection. Like there's a lot of things that we can do. But a Master IEP Coach method that we use is to always make sure that we have the best information possible, and we ask questions before we even look for solutions. I want to know all of the details before I give you solutions. So there's absolutely things that you can do, Tanya, but Tanya says nope. So I need you to go back through, Tanya, into the IEP, and I need you to look at the IEP goal, and I need you to see what data was supposed to be collected, if there was anything different than teacher observations. So I understand that that's what you have, but I need to know if the teacher didn't follow through on what was supposed to be collected, or is that what was supposed to be collected? Because here's the thing. If teacher observations was what was agreed upon in the IEP, then we have to approach things a little bit different than if other things were listed and then those weren't done. So it's 2 different situations. We can get to a good result in both of those. I would highly recommend that you come over into the Master IEP Coach Mentorship this summer, and we can help you work through all of those. You'll be able to help your own family and be able to help others. Let's see, I have let's see, Amanda, I'll make sure that you get the link for the data replay. on that. Carmen wants to know, do they only have to do one meeting a year and nothing the rest of the year? Nope. Nope. They don't have to only do one meeting a year. They have to do a minimum of one meeting a year. And then you can have as many IEP meetings as you need to make sure that a child is receiving an appropriate education. Now, IEP meetings with everybody sitting at the table and all the things happening from beginning to end, like that annual meeting, I don't like a whole lot of those IEP meetings happening. I understand sometimes we have years where they, happen quite a bit for one specific child, but I want to keep you out of those meetings, because every time you're in those meetings, you are working, you have people at the table that you're working on issues that actually may not pertain to them. Okay. So I want to streamline this IEP process, and I want to make sure that we're talking to the right people very often, and that we're getting as much done away from the IEP table than always saying, like, I need this done, so I need an IEP meeting. Maybe you need this done and there's another way to get that done. Absolutely, there's a possibility for that. Let's see. We have, okay, Tanya's doing a little follow-up here. She says, it doesn't state anything was to be collected. Plus, they state his strengths are his weaknesses. I'm not understanding how this is possible. So, chuckling there right with you, Tanya, because sometimes it's like, really? What were we thinking at that IEP table, with this? So this is where we started. Okay, it doesn't state anything was to be collected. So that's step one, is we've got to get things fixed for what's going to happen next. Now, to do that, we have to get really strong data on where your child's at in baseline performance right now. So then we can compare where the baseline is now to where the baseline was when the IEP goals were written. Okay, so they did something. When they wrote that annual goal, they did something. Like, let's just say the present level of performance for reading, it was, will read second grade sight words. And it says that what list of sight words they're going to use. It's going to say that they're going to read 50 of those sight words. You actually determine which 50 are going to be done that year. You say, okay, they only know 3 out of the 50 right now. And then you have, right now, that was the baseline back then. So even though you have nothing, maybe now we can say that your child knows 20 of those 50. So the data would be they went from 3 to 20, and we have to get that in writing. And you know what? We may not be happy with that progress. So then we have to come up with some really strong data collection and make sure that we get to from 20 to 50 as soon as possible. And we're tracking that progress to do that. So Tanya, again, I would love to have you come over into the Master IEP Coach Mentorship, so we can go through some of that. The other really awesome benefit of the Master IEP Coach Mentorship, besides for learning all the things and having this online course that you can have forever, that's when you enroll, you get access to it forever. And then you get the live mentorship experience, or we're online together a lot for 5 weeks. But you also get collaboration with people from around the country who are Master IEP coaches. They either are already Master IEP coaches, so they're in there as mentors, helping out all of the newbies, or you're learning along the side, of course, with those who are going to become Master IEP coaches at the same time as you. So it's a super supportive program that if your big concern is data, then we've got experts in that. If your big concern is AAC, assistive technology, communication, speech therapy, we've got experts in that. If your concern is behavior, we've got that. So there's all different areas that we can tap into through the Master IEP Coach program. Let's see. Tanya says, one more thing, then I will stop, because it goes on and on. I know. Once we start the conversation, right, Tanya, it just keeps on going. How is it possible for a 3rd grade level, but teaching 5th or 6th grade math? So what you're probably reading, Tanya, is that you have a standards-based IEP, which is extremely common, okay? So they'll have, if your child's in 6th grade, then they're presenting 6th grade math and they're modifying it to his level. There are ways to make sure that a standards-based IEP can meet the legal standards of being a standards-based IEP. All right. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm sharing with you my experience. Whenever I say the legal thing or the legal stuff, I want everybody to know I'm not a lawyer. All right. But I've been doing this for 20 years. So you have to go, okay, so this is what the standard is for the grade level that my child's on. And this is where they're at in that subject area, in that skill area, and this is their present level of performance. So Carmen wants to know, how does an IEP work when they're in high school? Actually, the IEPs stay the same all the way through until a child, if they're going to go to school until their 22nd birthday. A big difference happens in their teen years when they do get a transition plan that is implemented in there. So you want to make sure that the transition plan is strong and that it's truly focused on making sure that a child is prepared for further education, employment, independent living. Carmen, I do want to invite you to come on and enroll into the Master IEP Coach program. We have Lisa Shaw, who is a progress coach inside of our Master IEP Coach mentorship, and her specialty is in transition and future readiness, meaning that she helps coaches who are working through transition plans, either for themselves or for their students, or maybe they're going to be a Master IEP Coach who wants to be specializing in transition plans. So we have somebody who mentors right in that area and can share with you different things that can be put into an IEP into the transition plan area. That's going to be your biggest difference in focus in high school with that. So on that note, I'm going to say bye for today, but I will be back tomorrow with some more IEP strategies for you, because this is not our time to slow down. This is our time to be strategic. I understand that it's summer. I understand we had a rough spring, but I also know that we're going to have high expectations for what's going to happen in fall, and I can't wait to work with all of you to make sure that this is the best school year possible. I'll see you guys soon.